Have you ever felt deeply tired but couldn't quite explain why? Do certain sorrows keep repeating, even after you've changed your surroundings? Have you ever wondered, why do I keep facing the same kind of pain? Maybe it's not a coincidence. Maybe it's karma. Not something superstitious, not a punishment from the universe, but the energy you're creating every single day. Hello friends, and welcome back to Son.Mindfulness, a place for mindful souls, for those who are ready to understand themselves more deeply, and to live a life that feels lighter, clearer, and more at peace. Today's video is a quiet journey inward. Together, we'll clear up some big misconceptions about karma. We'll learn how to recognize when karma is at play in our lives, and most importantly, how to consciously release it. No need to leave your life behind. No need to live in a monastery. You just need to be present with yourself, one moment at a time. If you're carrying an old wound that still hasn't healed, if you wake up with a heavy feeling for no reason, if you feel stuck in cycles of repeating pain, then this video was made for you. I invite you to stay with me until the end, because what awaits you here isn't just knowledge. It's a real chance to begin again, from the inside out. Son.Mindfulness is always here with you, to walk beside you on the path of meditation, healing, and awakening. If something in this message speaks to your heart, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss what's coming next. And leave a comment. Let us know, where are you right now on your journey? May you stay healthy. May you breathe in peace. May happiness and good fortune follow your every step. And now, let's begin the journey of karmic release, right here, in this very moment. Part 1. The Foundations of Karma Awareness. At some point in life, you've probably heard someone say, just let karma handle it, or karma will catch up with him. It sounds like there's a cosmic police officer out there, holding a little notebook, tracking every wrong move, waiting for the perfect moment to strike back. But my friend, that is a common misunderstanding, and a dangerous one too. Karma is not a sentence. It's not punishment from above. In its original Sanskrit meaning, karma simply means action. But not just physical action. It's the energetic frequency created through your thoughts, your words, your behaviors. Let me offer you an image. Every thought you think sends out a ripple. Every word you speak creates a vibration. Every action you take leaves a mark, an energetic imprint etched into the invisible fabric of the universe, and none of it disappears. It all becomes part of your energy field, what we call body karma, speech karma, and mind karma. An older Buddhist practitioner once asked me, "Teacher, I've lived a gentle life, so why do I keep experiencing so much hardship?" I asked her, "Have you ever caught yourself silently judging someone, secretly resenting something, or quietly worrying over and over again?" She paused, then her eyes filled with tears. Because karma isn't only what the world sees, it's what lives deep inside us, in the corners no one else sees but ourselves. And here's the beautiful part. You are not a victim of your karma. You are the author of your karmic library, writing it moment by moment. What does that mean? It means you have the power to change it, to rewrite the past with your present awareness. There is no such thing as it's too late. In Buddhist teaching, every moment of mindfulness is an opportunity to renew your karmic path. Have you ever noticed yourself repeating the same old stories, even when you've tried to move on? Perhaps you're still living inside the same vibrations you once sent out, without realizing it. So, dear one, starting today, please don't think of karma as punishment. Think of karma as a living journal of your energy, and you're the one holding the pen. You can begin a new chapter, lighter, brighter, more at peace, whenever you choose. The real issue isn't your past. It's how you understand and work with it today. And if you're still here, still listening, that means your good karma is already blooming. At the very least, the seed of awareness is beginning to sprout. I'm honored to walk with you through the next steps as we explore how to recognize and gently transform karma, one breath, one moment at a time. Part 2. Signs you're carrying heavy karma. Have you ever felt like you're living the same story over and over, only with different names and faces? You leave a painful relationship hoping the next one will be different. But just a few months in, the same emotional wounds return, just wearing a new mask. You quit a job where you felt unappreciated, thinking a new workplace would bring change. But soon, you're feeling overlooked and unheard again. Have you ever said to yourself, "Why does this keep happening to me?" Dear friend, this is not coincidence. This is karma in motion. It's not the universe punishing you. It's simply that you're still broadcasting the same energetic frequency and therefore attracting situations with the same emotional pattern. I once had an older laywoman from San Jose share her story. She said, "Teacher, I've been divorced 3 times, and every time it feels like I'm dating the same man, just with a different face. Why is that?" I smiled and asked gently, "Did you fully learn the lesson from the first time?" Her eyes welled up with emotion. She understood. Beyond repeating patterns of pain, there's another sign, one that's easier to notice if you're willing to slow down and really look. It's when you have intense emotional reactions to small things. A seemingly casual comment leaves you hurt for hours. A bit of feedback brings you to silent tears. A tiny action from a loved one sparks anger for days. Think of it like this. A heart without old wounds doesn't break over small things. When there are hidden bruises inside, unhealed karmic wounds, even the slightest pressure can trigger a powerful emotional response. And perhaps the quietest yet most dangerous sign of all is a deep, unexplained exhaustion. You sleep enough, but wake up tired. You haven't done anything physically demanding, yet your body feels like it's dragging a heavy stone. You look to the future, and instead of hope, you feel a heaviness that doesn't go away. That, dear one, is the weight of accumulated karma. Not physical fatigue, but a thick, stagnant energy built up over years, from resentment, fear, anger, and sorrow. Modern medicine might call it fatigue, depression, or burnout. But in the lens of Dharma, we call it karmic density. A spiritual blockage where energy no longer flows freely. Have you ever lived with that feeling? A day with no major problems, yet still you want to cry. You want to let go. You don't know why. If you recognize yourself in this, please don't be afraid. Recognition is the very first step to liberation. I always remind my students, you can't find the way out until you know where you are. Those repeating patterns, those strong emotional outbursts, those tired days with no clear reason. They're not there to punish you. They're the universe's gentle finger, pointing to the places within you that need healing. And in the next parts of this journey, we'll learn how to listen more deeply, how to release, and how to free ourselves from the weight of dense karmic patterns. May you walk each step forward with growing awareness and compassion. Part 3. Awareness is already the beginning of liberation. Many older Dharma students have quietly shared with me, "Teacher, I feel like my life just keeps repeating the same sadness, and the more I see it, the more hopeless I feel. I don't know what to do anymore." In moments like that, I gently hold their hand and say just one thing. To see it is already the first step toward freedom. Anyone who can see their karma has already stepped halfway out of it. Dear friend, when you start noticing the same patterns repeating, like broken relationships, unfinished dreams, or emotional storms that come back like ghosts, this is not failure. This is the universe giving you a map, a living, breathing map, written by your own experiences. Every situation that drains you, it's a signal, a part of your energy that's blocked and waiting to be freed. Every time you overreact to something small, that's emotional GPS pointing to an old wound that's been buried or ignored. And every morning you wake up with that heavy, unexplainable fatigue. That's a thermometer, measuring how thick your karmic field has become. I remember once a woman in her 60s came to the temple. She spoke very softly. "Teacher, I don't feel anything anymore. Not sadness, not joy, just a heaviness in my chest." I asked her, "Have you cried?" She nodded. "Yes, but it feels like the tears are flowing inward, straight into my heart." I sat quietly for a moment, then said, "Then let's begin today. Not by escaping this heaviness, but by finally acknowledging it." Dear one, maybe you don't know what to do next. Maybe you feel like it's too late to change. But I say this with all the faith I've gained from walking this path. Anyone at any age who still has awareness still has the power to transform karma. Awareness is the first light in the forest. Just like a traveler lost in the dark, if you can spot a distant flicker of light, hope has already returned. Life is a series of lessons. Repetition is not punishment, it's an invitation to pause, reflect, and finally graduate from an old chapter. So if you recognize yourself in the patterns I described earlier, don't rush into fear. Tell yourself instead, "I see it now, I'm ready to clear it. I will no longer live in loops. I will live with understanding." In the coming parts of this journey, we'll learn clear, grounded spiritual practices to cleanse karmic energy. No superstition, no fantasy, just solid, mindful work. But before we take action, let's take time to look closely at your own karmic map. Ask yourself, what keeps repeating in my life? In what kinds of situations do I overreact? When do I feel that heavy, stone-like weight in my heart? Write it down. Look deeply. This is how miracles begin. Part 4. The Secret. Practice conscious forgiveness. One afternoon after a Dharma talk at a small temple in California, an elderly man approached me. He must have been in his 70s. His hair was silver like frost, his eyes sunken with time, but what struck me most was this. His face still carried something burning, a deep anger that had lasted for decades. He said quietly, "Teacher, I still haven't forgiven my father. He passed away years ago, but the weight in my heart is still here." I looked at him and replied gently, "Then your father is still living inside your heart, but in the shape of a wound." Dear friend, forgiveness is not a favor you give to someone else. Forgiveness is a gift you give to yourself. When someone hurts you through their words, their actions, or even their silence, the real pain doesn't just come from the event itself. It comes from what you keep holding inside afterward. The anger, the blame, the wish that they would suffer as you did. That emotional residue becomes karma. It's the invisible chain you carry long after the moment has passed. Let me give you a picture. Every unresolved emotion is like a sharp hook stuck in your chest. Attached to that hook is a cord, and on the other end of that cord, the person you can't forgive. You walk through life and they go with you, not in body, but in energy. Every time you remember, you're pulled back into that old emotion, whether it happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or even 40. This is why true forgiveness is karmic release. It has nothing to do with them anymore. It has everything to do with you. When I teach forgiveness, I always share this 3-step practice. It's called conscious forgiveness. And every step matters. Step 1, acknowledge the wound honestly. Don't downplay it. Don't say it wasn't a big deal or I should be over it. Instead, say to yourself, yes, that hurt me. I was deeply wounded. There's no shame in being hurt. The mistake is living inside that hurt forever without healing it. Step 2, take ownership of your reaction. You're not responsible for what they did, but you are responsible for what you chose to hold on to. Say it clearly, I've carried this resentment too long. I've allowed it to bind me. This moment of awareness is the turning point. Step 3, release through inner imagery. Sit quietly, close your eyes, ask yourself, Where in my body am I holding this pain? Is it your chest, your stomach, your throat? Visualize it. A heavy, dark energy gathered in that spot, dense and frozen. Now imagine, a soft stream of golden or white light begins to pour into that space. It melts the dark energy like sunlight melting ice. It draws the heaviness out. And finally, breathe out deeply. And let that pain return to the earth. And then, my dear one, there is one person you need to forgive even more than the one who hurt you. Yourself. Forgive yourself for the times you spoke words that hurt someone else. For the choices you knew were wrong, but made anyway. For holding yourself hostage in guilt or shame too long. Say it gently. I did the best I could with the awareness I had at that time. I've learned from it. I choose to let go. When you forgive, you're not erasing the past. You're simply choosing not to let the past control your present. And when you practice this, not once, but every day, every night, something extraordinary begins to happen. Those who once hurt you begin to fade from your heart, and your heart begins to feel light. May you rediscover deep peace, not because life goes your way, but because you no longer carry life's burdens in your heart. Part 5. The 21-Day Karmic Cleansing Practice. Dear friend, karma doesn't form in a single moment. It builds gradually, through tiny thoughts held back, repeated habitual emotions, and repeated actions. To dissolve karma, we don't need miracles. We need a mindful, consistent process. That's why I often guide my students through a 21-day ritual. Each day includes 4 simple steps to gently cleanse hidden energy imprints shaping your life. 1. Morning. Energy scan and release. Before you touch your phone or brush your teeth, sit upright. Close your eyes and take a deep breath. Mentally scan from your feet up, calves, belly, chest, shoulders, forehead. Notice areas that feel tight, numb, or cold. These are energy blockages. Imagine warm, golden sunlight pouring into those spots, melting the tension away. In your mind, affirm, I choose to begin today with clean, light, clear energy. I open myself to experiences aligned with my highest good. Just a few minutes, and you'll feel a sense of calm that stays with you all day. 2. Midday. Reflect and release. When something triggers tension, a harsh word or emotional upset, pause instead of ignoring it. Ask yourself, what old karma is being triggered in me? What limiting belief is activated? Is this a pattern repeating? Visualize the moment inside a violet light, symbol of transformation. Mentally say, I embrace the lesson. I release all energy that no longer serves my growth. Within a few days, everyday triggers often begin to fade. 3. Before bed, forgive others and yourself. As you lie down, review your day. Who caused discomfort? Where were you unkind or unskillful? For each person, visualize golden light pouring down on them. Silently say, I forgive you for the discomfort you caused me. I forgive myself for my reaction. May we both be free and at peace. And don't forget yourself. I forgive myself for not always being kind. Tonight, I choose to rest in love. This practice can deepen your sleep and leave you waking lighter, without the need for any sleeping aid. 4. Quantum anchoring. Connect to your higher self. At the moment before sleep, when your body is relaxed and your mind soft, this is a sacred time to reprogram your subconscious. Imagine your higher self, relaxed, generous, radiant, free from old patterns, fully aligned with your truth and purpose. Allow this version of you to merge into your consciousness. Silently affirm, tomorrow I awaken closer to my pure essence. Every day I dissolve another layer of old karma. I am in transformation. Time frame, 21 consecutive days. No skipping, no half-hearted effort. If you miss a day, begin again. This is not mysticism, it's energetic technology. Like training your body, repetition teaches your nervous system a new way to operate. Results appear gradually. Week 1, you feel calmer, less affected by daily ups and downs. Week 2, repeated patterns begin to dissolve naturally. Week 3, you'll realize you're not who you once were anymore. lighter, brighter, at deeper peace. I tell my students, don't practice this to change others. Practice it to change yourself. Then the world around you will transform in response. Thank you to all courageous souls walking this path of release. This 21-day ritual is not about perfection. It's about coming home to yourself, like a stream washing ancient dust away. Part 6. Live with Witness Consciousness. I invite you to imagine. You're sitting quietly in a peaceful room. Suddenly, someone storms in, yelling, angry, unleashing a storm of emotions at you. What do? Most of us, instinctively, react right away. Anger meets anger. We defend, we judge, we protect. But dear friend, in that moment, if you can pause even for just one breath, if instead of reacting you turn inward and observe the emotion rising within, you enter a powerful spiritual state, the state of witnessing. It's like standing by the riverbank, watching the water flow by. You don't jump in, you don't get swept away. You simply stand there and see clearly. And in that clarity, something miraculous happens. The emotion begins to dissolve. Choices arise. Peace returns. There are 3 inner pillars of witness consciousness I often share. 1. The sacred pause between stimulus and response. Every time something makes you want to react, a harsh comment, an unfair behavior, pause. Just for a moment, don't speak, don't judge, don't decide. Instead, take a deep breath and ask, how do I truly want to respond? Is there another, wiser choice I can make? When you create this pause, you break the cycle of old karmic reflexes. This is where freedom begins. 2. Ask inner questions when emotions arise. Instead of letting the emotion control you, ask, what is this emotion trying to teach me? Is an old belief being triggered? What do I truly need, and how can I meet that need in a healthy way? I had a student in Boston who felt hurt anytime someone gave her feedback. I taught her to ask this, is this comment truly offensive? Or is it touching a deep fear in me that I'm not enough? Weeks later, she wept during meditation and said, I'm no longer afraid of feedback. I can finally listen without self-judgment. That's the power of a well-timed question. 3. Take responsibility for the frequency you emit. When someone upsets you, you always have a choice. You can return their negativity, or you can transform it into light. Every word, thought, and action you express broadcasts a frequency, and the world reflects it right back. A person living in witness consciousness often asks, what energy am I putting into the world? What feeling do I leave behind after each conversation? You are no longer a leaf blown by the wind. You are the inner light that chooses what to radiate. What you broadcast, you attract. And you don't need anyone else to change first. You simply choose to live consciously, and everything around you will begin to shift. May you become the calm observer in the river of life, not cold, not indifferent, but awake, compassionate, and steady. A person who lives with witness consciousness is no longer driven by karma. They begin to lead their karma with freedom and wisdom. Part 7. The Karmic Mirror Technique. Have you ever met someone who made you feel uncomfortable the moment you saw them, even though they hadn't done anything wrong? Or a certain type of person you always seem to have issues with? Someone who talks too much, someone who constantly brags, someone indecisive and slow, someone overly controlling. Have you ever wondered, why do they trigger me so deeply? Why does this affect me more than it should? The answer might surprise you. They are a mirror, reflecting something unresolved within you. Let me share with you the 4 steps of the karmic mirror practice, a method that helps you transform every conflict into a chance to dissolve karma. Step 1. Pause and observe what exactly is triggering you. When an emotion arises, resist the urge to react. Instead of thinking, this person is so annoying, ask yourself, what exactly about them makes me uncomfortable? Is it their tone of voice? Their confidence? Their superficiality? You need to identify the precise trait that's pushing your emotional buttons. Step 2. Identify the part of you that is being reflected. This step requires courage. Ask yourself, does this trait exist in me too? Or am I secretly longing for that quality, but don't allow myself to express it? For example, if someone's bragging bothers you, maybe you used to be like that, but have suppressed it. Or you deeply crave recognition, and seeing someone else freely express it stirs something unhealed in you. This is the turning point, when you're willing to face either the shadow or the suppressed light within. Step 3. Extract the lesson. Every person you encounter is a teacher sent by the universe. The one who irritates you is your strict teacher. The one you admire is your inspiring teacher. Ask yourself, what quality do I need to cultivate to neutralize this reaction? Is there something I need to release, or something I need to embrace? For instance, if controlling people always frustrate you, perhaps life is asking you to learn how to trust more, or how to set firmer boundaries with clarity and grace. Step 4. Apply what you've learned over the next few days. Once you become aware, your life must shift, even in the smallest ways. Respond a little slower. Speak more calmly. Hold back judgment. Dare to express something you've been hiding. For example, if you often feel jealous of someone's creativity, try doing something small to express your own. Paint something, write a short poem, cook a new dish. Every time you act on this awareness, you peel away a layer of karma and lay the foundation for a new way of living. And dear one, here is the most beautiful part. The karmic mirror doesn't only reflect your shadows. It also reflects the golden potential within you that's waiting to be awakened. The person you admire, for their freedom, courage, compassion, or wisdom, is a glimpse of who you could become if you allow yourself to evolve. If you see light in someone else, it's because that same light already exists in you. So from this day forward, I invite you to look at every person in your life as a karmic mirror. Observe, reflect, refrain from judging, and in doing so, you'll discover something profound. Life is no longer here to hurt you. It has become your greatest teacher, guiding you toward awakening. Part 8. Releasing old karma and preventing new accumulation. A true follower of the Buddha, a sincere practitioner, is not someone who tries to run away from karma. They are someone who dares to look karma in the eye, repay it with awareness, and prevent new karma from forming. I want you to imagine this. Old karma is like a garden overgrown with weeds that have sprouted over many years. You don't need to waste time blaming whoever planted them. You simply need to begin pulling out one patch of weeds, one day at a time. And more importantly, don't sow new seeds just after your hands have cleared the soil. When you consciously practice forgiveness, you're unhooking energetic anchors from your heart. When you live with mindful awareness, you create a pause between stimulus and reaction, and in that very pause lies the doorway to plant seeds of light instead of darkness. In other words, you begin shifting from unconscious reaction to intentional creation. There's something I often say to my meditation students. Every conversation, every glance, every word, every thought is a seed. That seed lands either in your heart or someone else's. The only question is, are you planting light or shadow? Someone once asked me, Master, I've done all the rituals, I've visited temples, chanted scriptures, meditated, but why hasn't my life changed? And I asked, have you brought what you've learned into the smallest moments of your daily life? Did you forgive the person who misspoke to you today? Did you pause before reacting to a frustrating situation? Did you choose love even when anger flared up inside you? And that person fell silent. Tears welled up. Because transformation doesn't happen in temples. It happens in the most ordinary moments. Dear friend, when you live with awareness in every interaction, you are no longer a passive being swept along by the current of karma. You become the artist, painting each stroke on the canvas of your karmic journey. When you speak kindly instead of harshly, you plant a seed of goodness. When you hold on to faith instead of suspicion, you plant a seed of light. When you choose understanding over reaction, you're doing something you may not have managed to do in lifetimes past. And from there, the cycle of repetition begins to dissolve. I know, there will be times you forget, times you react, lose your temper, feel hurt, just like before. But that is not failure. Every time you recognize it, that is karmic healing. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to wake up again and again. You don't have to escape your karma. You just have to face it with light and stop creating more. At that point, you won't need to do anything grand to clear your karma. The way you live, see, and love every single day, that is already the practice. And you'll begin to notice. The people who once brought you pain slowly fade from your life. The same old patterns stop repeating. Gentle, bright things arrive naturally, without you needing to force anything. I bow deeply to you, the one who has journeyed through all 7 parts and arrived here. If you're still reading these words, listening from within, then there's already a great light shining in you. Protect it, nurture it, keep going. Because karma is not your fate. Karma is the soil. And you are the one planting the next seed. Conclusion. A new journey has just begun. Do you remember how it all started? We began by clearing away the old misunderstanding of karma. Karma is not punishment. Karma is the energy you generate, moment by moment. You've learned how to recognize the signs of heavy karma. You now know that fatigue, anger, and repeating life patterns are not curses but road signs pointing you toward healing. You've learned how to forgive, not to forget the other person, but to set yourself free from invisible chains. You've discovered the 21-day karmic cleansing ritual. Simple, consistent, and profoundly effective, as long as you approach it with trust and commitment. You've awakened to the witness consciousness. And you now understand just one moment of mindful pause can shift you from reaction to freedom. Now every daily interaction becomes an opportunity to plant light. And then you saw something deeper. The outside world is a great mirror. The person who triggers you is pointing to something unresolved within you. The person you admire reflects a potential you haven't dared to live. Have you ever looked at life this way before? Well, now, you have. You've walked a long journey. But do you know something? The real journey is only just beginning. Because from here on out, you no longer live on autopilot. You choose the thoughts you plant. You choose the energy you emit. You choose the karma you leave behind in this world. Are you willing to practice? Where will you begin? Will you start with your words today? With forgiving yourself tonight? I invite you truly. Try living one full day in mindfulness. Try forgiving one person you've never forgiven before. Try writing down a karmic pattern that's been repeating in your life. And you'll see. Something miraculous begins to shift. Thank you for being here. Thank you for walking this entire path with an open heart. Thank you for listening with sincerity and depth. If what you've just heard touched you, please consider subscribing to Son.Mindfulness so we can continue waking up together every day. And in the comments below, we'd love to hear from you. What was the most valuable insight you gained? Which part of this karma journey will you begin with? Wishing you strength and health. Wishing you peace in every breath. Wishing you joy and grace in every step you take. With deep gratitude, thank you.